The night has fallen. Welcome to the world of EduTales for Kids. Tonight, let's dive deep into the shimmering ocean, meet a little mermaid, and follow her magical journey to find the voice that was stolen. Once upon a time, deep beneath the shimmering blue sea, there lived a beautiful mermaid named Seraphina. Her hair flowed like moonlight, her tail sparkled in shades of turquoise, and her voice could enchant the whole ocean. Every morning, Seraphina would swim to a rock in the middle of Coral Bay and sing the most magical songs. Her crystal clear notes floated through the water, making dolphins dance, jellyfish glow, and tiny fish twirl like ballerinas. Seraphina wasn't just the voice of the sea, she was everyone's joy. From the tiniest seahorse to the wise old turtle living in a mossy cave, every sea creature loved her dearly. But far, far away, in the darkest, deepest part of the ocean, there was someone who didn't love her at all, a sea witch named Morgra. Morgra had once been the ocean's greatest singer, but ever since Seraphina started singing, everyone had forgotten about her. Bit by bit, Morgra's heart filled with jealousy and anger. One day, I'll silence that little mermaid forever, Morgra growled in the shadows, swirling her poisonous coral wand in a bubbling cauldron. That night, while Seraphina slept soundly in her seashell and seagrass bed, Morgra crept close. With a dark spell, she stole Seraphina's voice and locked it inside a black pearl hidden deep in her cave. The next morning, as sunlight peeked through the coral reefs, Seraphina woke up and couldn't make a sound. She panicked. She tried to hum a note. Nothing, just silence, cold and scary. Her sea friends came rushing to check on her. Seraphina used her hands to explain, her eyes filled with worry. Everyone was confused. Seraphina's voice is gone? They gasped. Old Tiberius the turtle nodded slowly. This can only be the work of Morgra. I've heard tales of her, a sea witch, jealous of Seraphina. Seraphina looked at him with determination. She couldn't speak, but she could act. She would get her voice back. And so, the great journey across the ocean began. Seraphina set off with her three best friends, Kiko the speedy dolphin, Luna the cheeky starfish, and Blub the shy little pufferfish. They swam into the deep seaweed forest, where tall seaweed branches formed a mysterious maze. Suddenly, a glowing swarm of red jellyfish blocked their way. They wouldn't let anyone pass unless a riddle was solved. The biggest jellyfish floated forward, its light pulsing like a heartbeat, and asked, I have no mouth, yet I speak, no ears, yet I listen deep. I ride the wind, but never leave the sea. Tell me, what could I be? The group went silent, thinking hard. Blub whispered, could it be? Ocean waves? They don't have mouths, but they sound like they're singing. Luna squealed, that's it, waves. The jellyfish shimmered brightly and rose up, forming a glowing gate. "Well done," the biggest jellyfish said, then vanished into the seaweed mist. Next, they reached Whistling Wind Bay, a place where waves crashed wildly and winds howled through the water. Blub, being nervous, got swept away by a big wave, but Seraphina quickly tied a seaweed rope around his fin and pulled him to safety. Blub, catching his breath, whispered thanks and promised himself he'd be braver next time. They swam on to the floating coral village, an amazing place with coral towers rising above the waves, where flying sea creatures rested between the branches. There, they met Echo, a clever flying fish who knew all about the Dark Island and warned them of the dangers ahead. But before giving them the ancient map and a glowing pearl to light the way, Echo asked for their help. A wild storm was shaking the coral towers, and the villagers needed saving. The friends got to work. Kiko made strong water currents to block the wind. Luna led the starfish to build barriers, and Blub used all his strength to hold up swaying coral towers. Together, they calmed the storm. Grateful, Echo gave them the glowing pearl and map as a reward. Now, with the map and glowing light, the brave friends swam confidently toward the Dark Island, where the biggest challenge of all awaited. Finally, they reached the island. Blub trembled. "Morgra's cave is so cold. I'm scared." Luna gently held his fin. "It's okay. Seraphina's with us." Kiko gave a wink. "We're in this together." They swam into the cave. It was pitch black, with glowing moss like creepy eyes watching them. The air smelled of old sea and magic. And then they saw it, a black crystal jar floating in the center. Inside, sparkled Seraphina's voice, like glowing musical notes. But Morgra was waiting. She rose from a puff of black smoke. "I knew you'd come, but you can't stop me," she cackled. With a flick, she fired a bright purple spell, but Seraphina dodged. Kiko rushed forward to distract her, while Luna climbed up and knocked down her magic string. Blub, though scared, puffed himself up like a giant balloon and bounced right into Morgra's face. And pop, the surprise knocked her off balance. That was Seraphina's chance. She grabbed the crystal jar and wrapped it with a pure coral string. The black pearl shattered, and a wave of light burst out like the sea itself. Her voice was back, and for the first time in days, Seraphina sang again. Her song was so powerful, it melted Morgra's magic. The cave trembled. Morgra shrieked, "No, this can't be," then vanished in a swirl of gray smoke. The friends hugged each other tightly. Blub puffed out a sigh of relief. "I've never been that brave before." Luna kissed Seraphina's cheek. "You did it." They swam home to the underwater kingdom, greeted by cheers. Dolphins leaped, old turtles cried, and starfish twirled in celebration of Seraphina's return. That night, under the soft moonlight, Seraphina sat on her favorite rock and sang once more. She smiled, looking at her friends. No one said a word. They just held hands, gazing at the horizon together. And Morgra? They say she hid away in the deepest crack of the ocean floor, where no song could ever reach. But sometimes, on quiet nights, the sea breeze carries a whisper. Could it be Morgra's voice, regretful and lonely? Or just the waves brushing against the rocks? As for Seraphina, she's not afraid anymore. She knows how strong she truly is, and that no one can steal her voice forever. And most of all, she's never alone. Because with every song, there's always a loving heart listening. And so, she keeps singing lullabies, guiding every sea creature into a peaceful, dreamy sleep.